Hello everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel CAT-XAT Turning Problems into Solutions. This is me Priyasha and today we are up with the second episode of Blitz Brigade, the ultimate free crash course for CAT and OMETS for all you guys out there. In this session we'll be covering up Para Jumbles part 1. So plenty of videos have already been uploaded on the channel on Para Jumbles. I'll be linking them down in the description box, also on the I button. You can refer to the QRS which I talked about in the previous video also. QRS is really important, guys. That is the quick revision sheet where you will get all the videos sorted according to their titles, so that if you just go to the QRS and click on or go for search button and go do control F and just find out the name of the topic you want to have a video on, and that will be right in front of you with the link. So no need to really search the entire internet for that. So you can definitely use that and get a better idea of parajumbles. I have uploaded a good number of videos already on it. This video is going to only talk about those important questions which I kept during my preparation, which were really important, and I found that they are relevant to your preparation as well. So let's get started with the first video on verbal ability of Blitz Brigade, termed under parajumbles. So let's start with the strategies which you see on the screen. ये strategies मैंने डिटेल में काफ़ी ज़्यादा बार एक्सप्लेन कर ली है, तो आप उन वीडियोस में भी डिटेल में देख सकते हो. मैं यहाँ पर सिर्फ आपको थोड़ा बहुत कॉन्टेक्स्ट दूंगी एंड आई विल डायरेक्टली मूव टू द क्वेश्चंस. And I'm so sorry if you can see your voice difference because I'm not so very feeling well. I'm suffering from conjunctivitis and I'm not able to shoot with my cam on as well. So just bear with me for a few days till I get fine soon, and once I'm fine I'll be back in the normal way of the class kind of a video. So let's get started. Firstly, we will see that what strategies can be used to connect one sentence with the another. So pronouns के केस में हम देख सकते हैं कि whenever we have he, his, her, उससे समझ में आता है कि this is not the opening sentence. So this is one very important thing which we use in almost every parajumble. Then we have conjunction and adverbs. Conjunction and adverbs के अंदर आते हैं कुछ conjunctions and adverbs which help us to indicate a sequence, like firstly, secondly, afterwards, before. Words like that help us to understand the sequence. Similarly, some words also help us to understand the culmination, that is the result, like lastly, consequently, finally, accordingly, eventually. ये सारे words हमें समझ में आते हैं कि end की तरफ रहेंगे. Then we have the words that indicate some additional information, just in case you get a word like similarly, moreover, furthermore, for example. ये सब कुछ additional information show करता है, which again seems or means that you are connecting the other primary information with the secondary information. And the last one is the words indicating contradiction, my favorite ones like but, yet, still, though. इनके हेल्प से हमें बहुत ज़्यादा अच्छे से क्वेश्चन सॉल्व करने में मदद मिलती है. Now we'll move forward to another concept like dates. Dates के help से भी कई बार आप parajumbles को arrange कर पाते हो, knowing the fact that the most recent event would be taken care of in the beginning and things like that. Okay. Then we come down to abbreviations, where as a general rule the full forms are always introduced in the beginning of a paragraph, and later on we start using the short forms. So that knowledge also helps us in solving the parajumbles. Then we come down to surnames. So the full names are generally referred to in the beginning, and then subsequently we start using the surnames at the end or in the middle of the paragraph. And lastly, we have introductory sentences and concluding statements, जो कि सारे लोग, like literally every aspirant uses this technique to eliminate few of the options, to understand which is the opening sentence and to understand which is the closing sentence, and उसके help से आगे बढ़ना. इसी तरह से you can work on examples and other things like that, which are some very commonly used strategy to solve the parajumbles. Now our task is to get started with the first question. So in this way, in this video also I'll request you to move the same way as you moved in the number system video, where you have to pause the video, try the question on your own, at least give yourself 1 minute to think over what your answer could have been, and then pause, replay it back to get the answer in our case. So in this question, I assume that you have paused it now, you have thought about it, and now you are ready with the answer. If not, then please watch the video and understand how to go about it. The very first word is thus, and I know that I cannot start with a thus. So A is not going to be the beginning of the sentence. Now understand that this is a theta question which I am bringing up. After two questions, I'll be giving you three PYQs also, so you will have fun in those. Okay. So firstly, understand the basics with the help of these two theta questions. Theta questions हमेशा आपकी basics clear करने में काम आते हैं, क्योंकि option elimination तो second step है, वो तो आपका काम easy करने के लिए दिया जाता है. प्राइमरीली अगर आप थीटा क्वेश्चन के साथ अपनी प्रैक्टिस शुरू करते हो, सो यू आर इन सच अ सिचुएशन वेयर यू नो द बेसिक रूल्स एंड फंक्शनैलिटीज. ठीक है, जैसे कि स्कूल में हमें स्टेप मार्किंग्स मिलते थे, बट ओलंपियाड्स में हमें स्टेप मार्किंग्स नहीं मिलते, हमें जस्ट आंसर निकालना होता है विद द हेल्प ऑफ ऑप्शंस. Very similar concept is theta only, so that's why CAT has come up with this theta option, where they also want to check your core basic knowledge along with just option elimination skills. So coming back to the question now, here you see 10 से हम statement शुरू नहीं कर सकते. So out of the 4 sentences we cannot start with a A. Moving next, most computer users develop disorders because they ignore the warnings like dash dash dash. Now, when I talk about this, this brings me up to a major concern of the passage. The major concern of the passage, if you just quickly go through all the points, is that the kind of disorders which people develop due to computer use. And therefore, this is the best introductory statement I can begin my paragraph with. सबसे पहले मैं disorder के बारे में बताऊंगी, फिर मैं उसके बाद उसको एक्सटेंड करूंगी विद द आइडिया दैट they keep pointing and dragging until the tendons chafe and the scar tissue forms, along with bad habits that are almost impossible to change. So this is an extension to the idea what people are facing and the reason why it is becoming more and more important, or rather you can say more difficult to change, or a very important issue to consider. दिस इज अ एक्सटेंशन ऑफ द आइडिया. तो बी और सी को हमने साथ जोड़ लिया, क्यों? क्योंकि ये दोनों एक ही आइडिया के दो पार्ट्स हैं. देन वी हैव टू डिसाइड बिटवीन डी एंड ए. सो ऑप्शन डी सेज बट क्योर्स आर इल्यूसिव, and option A says thus begins the search for relief. So before talking about the cures being elusive, you actually need to find out the number of reliefs which we can take care or use of. So we start with painkillers, ice, yoga. These are some basic things which people go forward to जब भी उन्हें realize होता है कि कंप्यूटर के ज़्यादा यूजेज की वजह से उनको प्रॉब्लम आ रही है. And moving next, the last and the best conclusive statement would be that how this RSI, that is the repetitive stress injuries, cannot be easily cured as they often defy the diagnosis. And that is the reason why even if you take some chota mota cure, this is not going to be enough. And therefore the answer of this question is BCAD. अगर आपके आंसर मैच करता है तो congratulations, और अगर नहीं मैच करता है तो double congratulations, because you have learned something new today. Now here comes your question number 2, where the first statement and the sixth statement is already fixed. What you just need to do is read and understand कि आपको बीच में connection कैसे establish करनी है. So I hope that you have already paused it and tried it on your own. So I'll start with my solution right now. The first statement says a high-powered consultant on assignment in Cleveland was scheduled to fly straight to Paris the next night. So ये एक introduction है about a high-powered consultant. And if you read the last line, it says what we need is someone who can handle the administrative course that now the missing managers used to perform. So उसके बीच कुछ changes हुए, तो हम consultant के around ही बातें कर रहे हैं, okay? But then her secretary does not make sense. Almost every manager earns to have a secretary. Now, do you think that having a secretary is related to a consultant anywhere over here? Not really. Come down to the next point. Suddenly, it hit her. Oh my God, I have left my passport at home in New York. Now, look about this. Leaving the passport at home and having a flight scheduled to Paris are way connected, right? They are really connected. So, again, you can also say that one more reason is her. Now, we can say that this consultant is a lady who has forgotten her passport at home and she also remembers that it is also expired. Now, what would she do? But before I confirm my answer, मैं कभी भी अपना आंसर confirm सारे options को पढ़े बिना नहीं करती. So I'll go to option D and confirm it. Is this more connecting with 1 or is C connecting with 1? She arranged to retrieve the old passport. She cannot retrieve the old passport until and unless she remembers that she has actually forgotten it at home, or if she remembers that it is expired. So C has to come before D. Now the point is that C के बाद D हम directly लगाने वाले हैं या उसके बीच कुछ और रखने वाले हैं. So please read it again from statement number 1, that she was a consultant going to Paris, and now she remembers that she has left her passport at home and it is expired also. Now since it has expired, she arranged to retrieve the old passport. Or come to statement number A. Statement A says, but then her secretary swung into action. So she is a consultant. Of course, she cannot be the secretary. And the last line is talking about the people like who can do the administrative course. So if she is in a problem, of course, the secretary will come into action. And what will she do after coming into action? What did the secretary did is statement D. What was secretary's action? She arranged to retrieve the old passport, cajole the State Department into expediting the new one, having airline tickets rewritten, and deliver the whole package to her boss, which is the consultant, who was waiting at the John Kennedy Airport. Of course, she was going to Paris. So she was waiting at the airport, and it was her secretary who did all the job. So CAD is going to be the connecting line here. And now we are left with only one thing, which is B. Almost every manager earns to have a secretary like this, okay, because she is the one who took care of everything which can be done. And therefore my correct answer for this question will be 1 CADB 6. I hope you all got this and understood very well. हमेशा याद रखना कि जब भी पैरा जंबल्स में दो लोगों के बारे में बातें हो रही है ना, आपका पहला कंसर्न शुड बी टू डिस्टिंग्विश बिटवीन कौन सा लाइन कंसल्टेंट की बात कर रहा है और कौन सा लाइन सेक्रेटरी की बात कर रहा है. ये समझ लिया तो क्वेश्चन आराम से बन जाएगा. Now taking you forward to the first PYQ for the day, guys. Here comes the first PYQ for all of you. This is a XAT 2020 question and I really like the question and it is a lesson in itself. So please try it on your own and I'm going to start the answer right now. Now, point P तो मैं पढ़ूंगी ही नहीं एज एन ओपनिंग स्टेटमेंट. क्यों? भला मैं ऐसा क्यों कर रही हूँ? मैंने पी के साथ इतना बड़ा गलत क्यों किया? क्योंकि कोई भी ऑप्शन पी से स्टार्ट नहीं हो रहा. If no option is starting with a P, why would I even waste my 30 seconds or 10 seconds reading that sentence, right? So I would not. I know that the sentence will either start with a Q or with a T or with a R. So because R is present in only one option, I'll first read R. R says lack of vitamins and minerals such as this encourage the development and deficiency diseases and osteoporosis as well as dental care. So this is one of the primary reasons for something. So I cannot start with a reason. Always remember that para jumble questions start like a headline. आप पहले एक important चीज बताते हो और उसके बाद उसके reasons, effects सब कुछ बताते हो. So when that is the case, I know this that option E cannot be my answer. Now let us read T. T says emotional and self-esteem problems along with chronic illness in later life due to obesity are issues associated with junk food. This is not a starting statement. The reason being that is these are the associated issues with junk food. The primary subject here is junk food. So option T can also not be the starting statement for us. Now finally moving on to Q, that is my primary, you can say the subject. Regular junk food intake can lead to physical and psychological issues among the children. ये क्या किसी हेडलाइन से कम है? बिल्कुल नहीं. ये परफेक्ट हेडलाइन है जिसको पढ़कर इंसान और अंदर पढ़ना चाहेगा कि ऐसा क्यों बोल रहे हैं, ऐसा क्या खराब है जंक फूड में. This is a headline and headlines are always my starting line. Now once you talk about this opening sentence which is putting forward the idea of regular consumption of junk food and its problems, you have to then list out what are the what should I say, content of junk food, like वो junk food बना किस चीज से है. You can then go to statement S. You have two options, S and R. And मैंने अभी अभी R पढ़ा था कि R में problems listed है, but S में listed है कि junk food बुरा क्यों है, क्योंकि उसमें है lots of fats and sugars, relatively low in other nutrients, and that is a primary reason why junk food के regular intake से problems हो रहे हैं. Primary reason याद रहे, I again repeat, primary reason. And इसमें मैंने already mention किया है कि इसमें nutrients कम है, उसको मैं further exaggerate करूंगी by telling कि किस तरह के nutrients कम है. A, C कम है, magnesium, calcium कम है, और ये कम होने से क्या होता है, that is like osteoporosis and deficiency diseases. But you know what, practically in the exam, the moment you crack this S part, you know your answer. But still, because I'm explaining the thing over here, so I feel like completing the full sentence. Then I'll talk about the associated risks. So option T is basically my associated issue, not the primary issue. Primary issue tha this kind of stuff, S and R. अब मैंने associated issue लिख दिया in option S, I mean T. And finally comes to the concluding sentence, which says that if you take it more than 3 times, you will see greater odds like atopic disorders, asthma, and eczema and other things. And lastly, the word thus. You remember in the beginning of the video I told you the word thus is a concluding sentence. Thus it should definitely and strictly be avoided. So that was how the answer goes. Option A is the correct answer. I believe कि आप लोग का सही गया होगा ये. Now here comes CAT 2020 slot 1 theta question. Let's go and get this. I hope that you have tried it now, and now I'm starting the solution for it. So man has used poisons for assassination purposes ever since the dawn of civilization. This is quite a good introductory statement. Against individual enemies, but also occasionally against the armies also. These dangers were soon recognized. Looks nice, but what kind of dangers? We'll first find out what danger are we talking about. So come down. The Foundation of Microbiology by Louis Pasteur and Robert Koch offered new prospects for those interested in biological weapons because it allowed agents to be chosen and designed on a rational basis. Now understand, biological weapon is the danger we are talking about. So 3 and 2 are going to be together next to each other. Now you have to decide that which is the opening sentence. Now coming to the fourth one, though treaties were made in good, but you cannot control them. So you know the word though is a perfect conclusion कि भले ही लोग इसके around treaties बना रहे हैं, but हम सबको पता है that deep down there the biological weapons are always dangerous. And that means my correct answer for this question is 1324. That is one particular CAT question I got, which was really simple and is a big motivation to all of you that if you understand the context well, आपके लिए कोई भी question impossible नहीं है. Now moving next to the last question for this video. This is a PYQ of TISS. This is a PYQ of TISS. Okay. Now I thought that since I'm making a comprehensive video on PJ, then you can or you should know that हर different exam में किस तरह के questions पूछे जाते हैं. So here we come. The first statement is already given. You have to find out the sequence. The first statement is, with its rich pungency and smell, garlic has been both extolled and vilified during its 4,000 years history. Now this was a lesson in itself because the meaning of extolled and vilified is not necessary to be known. But ये मैं आपको homework देती हूँ, and you can also tell me in the comment section what is the meaning of extolled and vilified. But without knowing the meaning of these two words, let's try to find out the answer of this question. Option A, let's start with option A. Option A starts with a B, option C with a D, option B with a C, option C with a D, and D with a A. That means अगर आप इस question में opening sentence identify कर लेते हो तो आपको इसके आगे और कुछ भी नहीं करना. So let's try that. Later the Greeks and Romans used it. A is not the opening sentence. Option D is out. The ancient Egyptians used medicine. ancient. You are using time here. You're talking about past first. So B can be the opening sentence, but sirf abhi ke liye, okay? I'm not sure. The Israeli slaves, when fleeing the Egyptians for the promised land, complained of not having garlic. This is somewhere in the middle. This cannot be the opening sentence. So option B is also out. Now come to the last one, and last but not the least, although it is sometimes referred to as stinking rose, although the word although in itself means cannot be the starting sentence. तो सिर्फ और सिर्फ opening sentence की help से congratulations to my entire viewers out there, क्रैकजैट की पूरी फैमिली को congratulations कि आप लोगों ने एक क्वेश्चन को सिर्फ एक सेंटेंस के हेल्प से सॉल्व कर लिया. Yes, B is my opening sentence and A is my answer, but just to check, let us see if the options work fine or not. अगर मैं B से शुरू करती हूँ, talking about the ancient Egyptians using it as a medicine, okay, used it as medicine. यहाँ पर it का मतलब होगा garlic, which is my already leading statement, and after that it says that they even fed to it to their slaves to give them more strength. So that was one reason for it. And those slaves, when fleeing, complained of not having garlic क्योंकि उन्हें उनकी habit हो गई थी. Okay, moving next. Later the Greeks and the Romans used it for dog bites and bladder infections. And last sentence, although it is sometimes called as stinking rose and certainly its smell is off-putting to many, it still thrives today with even a garlic ice cream available in San Francisco. So that's how the answer is option A, guys. Congratulations on completing this question successfully. And like this, I'll be coming up with more videos and more tricks to solve parajumble and other similar contexts. Keep watching the videos and showing the love by liking the video. And if you are new to the channel, then please subscribe to the channel as well. Bell icon दबा दीजिएगा ताकि you get notified of all the new videos dropping in. And please 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 मेरे सारे viewers से ये request है कि please इस video को share कीजिए. Share it in all your WhatsApp, Facebook and Telegram groups where you are discussing your doubts in. And if there is any other query with which I can help you, please drop it down in the comment section. Do follow me on Instagram and join my Telegram group for more content like this. See you in the coming video, guys. Take care and study hard. And just wish me that I get well soon. Thank you so much, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.